Ethereum holders, I think we could be on the cusp of a huge move with Ethereum's price. Traders pay attention and cards on the table unless World War III breaks out for the weekend, which, it could. It could. I think the move is going to be to the upside. So in today's video, let's dig into a bunch of ETH charts, 2 on-chain metrics, and 1 major fundamental catalyst, and I'll explain to you why I believe we're poised for an imminent upside move. Then I'll cap the discussion with why I think the risk-reward on an ETH long trade right now could be one of the better setups that we're seeing in the cryptocurrency markets. And I know it's ETH, it's not going to, 1000x or something like that, but you could catch a nice trade on, especially a little bit of extra spice on top. 2-3x leverage could be a nice move. So let's start off with the ETH chart on the weekly. So here we've got the 200-week EMA in purple along with the weekly RSI and MACD. Now the first thing I want you to notice is Ethereum's historical relationship with the 200-week EMA. Now I made a shorter TA video kind of updating on some of the basics of this stuff, but we're going to dive in real deep here on these topics and really give you some nuance to it. Basically, whenever ETH is tracked close to this EMA, it's just a matter of time before the price moves up hard off of it to the upside. It happened mid-2020, from 2022 to 2023, and now we're in a very similar setup to those moments. And for several reasons that we're about to discuss, I think it's possible that we're going to see something like this coming next. Again, geopolitics could end up cucking us on this move. I don't fade that completely. If Donald starts bombing Iran, markets are not going to like that, and crypto's going to get to price that in over a relatively quiet weekend when stock markets aren't open, so everyone's going to dump crypto instead. Anyway, check out the consolidation triangle. It's happening on the weekly right now. Now, we thought this triangle breakout was happening at the beginning of the year. No, but instead we got a rejection at the top of it and price fell and bounced off the triangle's support line. But regardless, Ethereum's price is still in this insanely big macro coiling pattern, and at some point it's going to break. Third, check out the RSI in the weekly. Dead center neutral territory. This means that there is plenty of room for the price to run to the upside, from a momentum perspective anyway, given we're pretty far from either overbought or oversold levels. You'll also notice the neutral RSI readings just before the big pumps in 2020 and in 2023. Finally, check out the weekly MACD. Again, primed right now for a major momentum shift to the upside. Fingers crossed, of course. And we saw something pretty similar with the MACD back in 2023. So combining all of this technical data together on the weekly here, I think a strong case can be made that we're in an ideal spot right now for a potentially big move. And charts would favor it to the upside, by the way. Hey, by the way, before we get into the next charts, which are the daily charts, okay, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is ITRUST. Guys, if you want to save big on your taxes, you might want to look at ITRUST has to offer for you. They allow you to benefit from basically tax-free crypto trading by wrapping your crypto trading in an IRA or 401k or whatever retirement vehicle you might have. If you don't have a retirement vehicle yet, they can help you set one up as well. And you can come over here and trade as much as you want. 1,000 trades. They don't care how many times you trade. Big coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, fun coins like Dog with Hat. They got you covered. Okay, and you can do all those trades and never hit a taxable event once, which makes a big difference to your bottom line in the long run. You can even do self-custody of those coins in the future by doing in-kind withdrawals. You can get physical gold and silver via the partnership with Kitco. Pretty cool stuff overall. Biggest IRA provider in crypto, most assets under management. If you want to learn what they are doing and if they can help you save on taxes, then there's a link down below and you'll get a $100 sign-up bonus when starting your account by using that link. Now let's zoom into the nuance here on the daily. You can see back in April, May, ETH was in a rectangle consolidation pattern, and then it broke out hard to the upside on some really big volumes. The devs started doing something. We saw treasury companies coming in, all that kind of stuff. Now, I note the volume here for 2 reasons. First, buyers stepping in hard like this means that they're serious about scooping up ETH at under $2,400. In fact, whales have been so serious, we even saw last week they bought, I think, 800,000 ETH on a single day. That means we should be seeing solid support around $2,400, which, as is no coincidence, the bottom of the current rectangle consolidation pattern. And second, now this really is more of a short-term signal tip, but notice in the prior rectangle that as price continued to consolidate, volumes kept falling. But once volumes turned the corner and started to tick back up, that was a leading signal that a breakout was coming. We're now in a similar setup right now. Again, the ETH chart's crazy, and as long as geopolitics don't cuck us, I feel like we're really in an interesting setup here for ETH. ETH is consolidating in a big rectangular pattern right now, and volumes are falling. So watch for volumes to start turning the corner to pick back up, and that'll be the leading signal that we're about to get a major breakout outside of this consolidation pattern. Now, I just have to say, as an aside, if you liked this last note about the volume as a leading signal, then this is the type of stuff that I explore both in my newsletter and in my Discord group. There's links for both those down below as well, so check it out. My team and I are really trying to pin down simple leading signals that hopefully give us an edge and a heads up to larger moves in the markets. And as you know, guys, trading is really, when it comes down to it, more like poker. It's about statistical odds of things to happen, knowing that the other guy might get pocket aces once in a while, aka Donald Trump bombing Iran, stuff like that, right? But we look at high fidelity setups, let's say. I think this move right now is all indicating here on the daily charts that something big could be brewing. So that's the technicals, right? Now let's turn to two on-chain metrics. I think this is very interesting as well. So first, this is from Glassnode this week. Daily ETH accumulation, and this is crazy. Whales are now holding more than 14.3 million ETH in total, with Glassnode noting that this scale of buying has not been seen since 2017. Whales have flipped mega bullish on ETH over the last few weeks. They're looking at a way, the whales, the big money guys, a way that they can have a nice high liquidity move where they can double, triple, quadruple their money. And that's what they're doing. You can see that whales have really picked up the pace since about June 10th. This most definitely supports the case that when a major price move comes, it's probably higher, not lower. Again, I just need to keep pointing it out because there are extreme risks in the market right now, a lot of uncertainty. That move is higher, not lower, assuming that we don't get World War III breaking out, okay? Second, this is from Crypto Quant. If we look at ETH exchange reserves, we find that the total balance just continues to fall. Right now, there's 18.7 million coins available, which is a 40% drop from the reserves in mid-2022. Again, just another data point that shows an upside move is a more likely scenario based on the current fundamentals and buy pressure. You can add into that 35 million ETH, which is about 30% of the supply, currently is staked as well. And that's got a 2-year unlock period, essentially, if everybody wanted to exit at the same time. And so this all pushes the amount of coins on exchanges lower, the amount of coins that can be dumped lower, and make no mistake about it. We see stuff like the Genius Act as well, which is getting people very excited about Ethereum right now. The US Senate just approved this, and trust me, Trump's going to sign this bill into law. Why wouldn't he? This is the exact stuff he's been pushing for. So in case you're not familiar, the TLDR here, this bill is going to bring stable coins under the US TradFi legal umbrella. Literally every company wants to get into stable coins right now, whether it be Shopify or Stripe or Visa or MasterCard or Walmart or Amazon, the big commercial banks, Bank of America, JP Morgan just launched a stable coin the other day. Hundreds of billions, heck, trillions of dollars are coming to stable coins. Now, what's that got to do with Ethereum? Well, trillions of stable coins and other tokenized assets like US Treasury stocks and all of it, it all needs blockchains to run on. And I think Ethereum is a prime candidate for handling a lot of that traffic. In fact, it's already handling a lot of that traffic. Stuff like BlackRock's BUIDL primarily is on Ethereum right now. Now, Solana is a close second. I think massively benefits as well from everything going on in the stablecoin scene. But ETH could be a primary beneficiary of all this. And I think the whales know this, and that's why we've been seeing them scoop up huge amounts of ETH aggressively over the last few months. So, tying it all together, ETH's charts right now looking very interesting. Risks do remain. The on-chain metrics, fascinating. Fundamental catalysts like the Genius Act, all right. And we didn't even talk about ETH staking and stuff like that. We've had a lot of ETH videos recently. Don't want to repeat too much of the sort of fundamental stuff we talked about in some other videos here, but these are interesting points that were worth keeping to note. This is more of a chart-based video, but still, hopefully bring it all together as a concise package for you. I think all this together makes limit longs or limit spot buys at ETH's 200-day EMA, which is just around 24.75, to be an attractive area. One of the better risk-reward trades in crypto right now, but do keep in mind, you want to have a stop loss in play here in case the worst happens, okay? You don't want to get caught in a losing trade for a long amount of time if things go to shit, right? Overall, though, a lot of really positive tailwinds behind ETH at the moment, and for me, the upside potential feels like a pretty good play to make and has higher reward than any sort of downside risk in the short term. Thanks for watching.